What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Movie Emporium's movie review of the new Marvel Studios movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This film is directed by Sam Raimi. Now, before we begin, if you like this video, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button as well as commenting below on any video that you watch, including this one. So as always, this is a Marvel movie. This is a non-spoiler review, so I won't get into the nuts and bolts of the actual movie. I will be doing actually a spoiler-filled review with Jacob from Jacob Anders Reviews, but this will be as non-spoiler as it can be because I know a lot of people will eventually see this movie. So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is, of course, Doctor Strange's second film in the MCU. Of course, he was, of course, in Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, as well as Spider-Man, but this is his second individual film after the 2016 film, and it basically sees him kind of opening the doors to the multiverse. This is a movie that is introducing us to a brand new world, a brand new situation, and is really delving deep into what the comics were doing at the time, which is just opening this and kind of blowing up everything that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel in general. But it sees a new character named America Chavez, who's played by, I think it's Xocitl Gomez, I think is her name. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Who can basically hop between dimensions. She's able to basically multiverse hop, I guess you could say. So she's been to different multiverses and so on and so forth. It's in the trailer. It's in a couple clips. So it's just, you know, it's what kind of the spoiler-free synopsis of her character. But she gets involved with Doctor Strange himself, you know, the Benedict Cumberbatch character, as well as Wong. And because this is a 3-movie character arc for, of course, Wanda Maximoff and the multi-dimensional multiverse, it actually brings back Wanda Maximoff, who's played by Elizabeth Olsen, who has a particular purpose in this movie. If you've seen, of course, the WandaVision, the end credits of that movie or that TV series, you know that she is doing something specific in this movie, and it becomes a very crucial point to what is going on with the multiverse, what is being affected by the multiverse, and how it plays forward with Doctor Strange, dealing with, you know, not only his relationship with, of course, Christine, played by, of course, Rachel McAdamas, but how his overarching arc will eventually play out through the eventual, you know, Marvel Cinematic Universe as it continues forward. And it basically becomes a interdimensional horror film that, of course, is directed by Sam Raimi. So it becomes a very crazy, over-the-top, insane adventure that does have some problems, but overall is an adventure that is pure Marvel, pure Sam Raimi, and pure just Marvel Cinematic Universe situation. So it's a movie with a lot of moving pieces. It's a movie with a lot of stuff that you won't want to talk about because you want to see it in the theater. And it's a movie that is just very much a Marvel movie with Sam Raimi's imprints on it. And so, like I said, this is a Sam Raimi movie. So I was really excited going into wanting to watch this movie. I liked the idea that they were talking about this was going to be a horror film. Unfortunately, Scott Derrickson exited the film. They brought in Sam Raimi. So I became super excited because his style, his substance, the fact that he is almost like a godfather to the comic book, you know, the modern comic book age, with the Spider-Man movies and stuff like that, it was really something I was really looking forward to. I really like that original Doctor Strange movie, but I really think after the trailers, I thought this could be a movie that truly just kind of breaks open the whole idea of, you know, superhero films with Marvel and bringing Sam Raimi's style, because this is definitely something that he is very much in tune to. And then you, of course, you bring back Benedict Cumberbatch and Chiwetel Ejofor and Rachel McAdamas. You throw in, of course, Xocitl Gomez, and you throw in some, you know, interesting ideas. And yeah, I was really looking forward to it. It was in my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. And I will say this, there are some problems with this movie, but this is a movie that if you love Sam Raimi, you love his style, you love his techniques, you love the idea of Doctor Strange being a horror film, you like the idea of the multiverse, and you can just go along for the ride and deal with the crazy concepts that are being presented, this might be one of the most interesting, unique, and fun rides in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a film that just has so much style and so much fun and substance. It's a film that, you know, really gets in the sense of who Sam Raimi is as a director. Danny Elfman comes in and throws in his music, which is really, you know a Danny Elfman score. Just the idea of how this film looks, which is one of the most unique comic book movies I've ever seen. The pastels and the reds and the grays and the worlds that are being presented. There are things in the shots in this movie that are absolutely mesmerizing to watch. The stuff when you see in the trailer with like the Sanctum Sanctorum is like being like torn apart and stuff like that. That is really interesting to look at. There's some multiversal jump stuff that they do in this movie that is really unique in its own right. Overall, it's a movie that I just had a lot of fun with. It really feels like a return to form for Sam Raimi. Like I said, I'm glad that Kevin Feige allowed Sam Raimi to do his style, because there really is a uniqueness to it. There are shots that you know from Sam Raimi that just really kind of how he pushes in on stuff. You know, you've seen it in like Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell and stuff like that. There are ways that he has and he moves, and his style is kinetic and just makes it for an overall entertaining fun time at the theater. So I was really happy about that. I really think the crew and cast, and I really think the fact that this movie just really is a love letter to horror as well as to what Sam Raimi does, really helps this movie to move along really well. And then you bring in Michael Waldron to do, I think it's Michael Waldron who wrote the script, and he's worked on this MCU universe before, so it really does help. But I think Benedict Cumberbatch is once again great as Doctor Strange. I do think Chiwetel Ejiofor and Rachel McAdams are not used very well, especially Chiwetel Ejiofor playing Mordo, who I think really is left to kind of clean up the scraps of this movie. I don't think he's used very well. I feel like his character from the first film is so strong in how it plays out in the end, but I just don't think it works very well here. And that's my overall real problem with this movie, is there's pieces and parts which feel not very well utilized. This feels like it has the same problems like Oz the Great and Powerful, where there's style and substance to what Sam Raimi's doing, but there is also excess and just weirdness to his style of when he became a huge style director with his like big budget films after Spider-Man. And on top of that, this film and its cinematography, the filmmaking, the look and feel of the film, while kind of unique, it still feels like his Spider-Man very, I want to say the tones are really kind of saturated a little bit. And some of the shots he decides to make, not in his style, are really strange and kind of out of place. I think the ending is a little problematic with what he's trying to do. I think there are some things that it reveals, especially in the first mid-credit sequence, that will confuse people because they won't know what's going on. I think it's a movie that, it tries in its 2 hours, this is really actually a really short Marvel movie. It's like an hour and 24 or 124 minutes or 2 hours and 4 minutes, where it just it feels like it's moving forward too fast, so maybe it would slow down and be a little more interesting. With that said, I don't think it is majorly a problem. I don't think it's something that will take away from this movie's uniqueness and the idea and concepts behind it, places they go and the way things are playing out. As you can see, I'm trying not to spoil anything because there is a lot of stuff in here that really pushes the MCU forward. But I think in the end, this film, like Shang-Chi and maybe Eternals, really gives it a really interesting scope and feel to this cinematic universe that even with Avengers Endgame and some films earlier didn't have. Like, this film actually feels more interesting, more fantastical, more horrifying than the first Doctor Strange ever did. And I think that's a testament to, like I said, once again, Kevin Feige allowing Sam Raimi and his abilities to direct to just do what it needs to do. And in the end, I think this is a very strong MCU film. Like I said, MCU films have a lot of problems, but I think, this is more my cup of tea than, say, Captain America Civil War was when that came out. So overall, I enjoyed it. Yes, there are a couple of mid-credits and end credit sequence, which I thought the end credit sequence was amazing. This movie with this, cast and crew really does work. It is very different than the first Doctor Strange, but I think that it makes it a much better film. So like I said, still problems, but overall I really enjoyed the film. So, but with that said, that is my non-spoiler take of course, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Like I said, I am going to do a spoiler-filled review with Jacob from Jacob Anders Review on his channel, so look forward to that. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Comments below, are you looking forward to this film? What do you think of Doctor Strange overall? Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.